Hello, 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 sweet Capricorn. Welcome and thank you for letting me come into your space for a little bit of time today. This is your new moon reading for the August 18th, 2020 new moon, which is coming in just a few days, and we'll be entering into that energy in a couple of days already. So new moons are all about setting intentions for the cycle ahead, and sometimes they pertain to a longer cycle than just that lunar cycle. It depends on what's showing up in your world, right? And where you're at individually. So we've also been through the Lion's Gateway August 8th. And if you're not familiar with that, I really encourage you to look that up because it's a powerful, powerful shifting. It's a portal where we have a lot going on. There's a lot of difference in energy, upgrading, that kind of thing. And it really does affect our everyday existence. And the more aware you can be, the better. You can flow with things that feel like they're out of the blue, so to speak. All right, so we're going to draw one more card here, 3 Oracle to get started with your read, Capricorn. And then we're going to draw tarot to get some specific information underneath each of your messages. Okay, so here we go. 48, we have financial discipline. So this month for Capricorns that this applies to, it's paying attention to your finances. It's making sure that you are grounded and that you're stable and that you're not overextending yourself, all right? And you've got Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. So this is all about an evolutionary lesson for you, a soul lesson for you, but you've got some study and some higher learning, and that could literally mean, taking a course or learning a new skill, or in your job you have a new learning curve that you have to adjust to with the position that you're in. But there are some lessons and some learning that have to happen, and they may be connected to the financial discipline, or they could be just two separate pieces for you in this lunar cycle. And then you have Welcome to Planet Earth. You are here to seek joy. So it feels a little bit like maybe with this lessons to learn, like maybe some Capricorn, you've not been feeling some joy. If it is a learning curve with your job or a new endeavor or relationship, and learning curves can be a challenge because there's a lot happening right at the beginning, so it could be around that. It could also be that you recognize that you are here to experience joy and you are fully in that space and ready to learn and ready to use this window. It'll be different for all of you depending on where you're coming from. So let's pull some tarot to get some specifics, and we'll talk about that. Okay. All right. So we've got 9 of Swords, which represents anxiety. So, and we've got Page of Swords, which generally represents gossip. Now, Page of Swords, that can be represent a physical person in your life, usually someone that's youthful, younger, under 25, and gossip. So in terms of your financial situation, your financial discipline, and where, how your money's flowing out and flowing in, there's been a lot of worry and anxiety for some of you Capricorns around that. And it's also connected to perhaps someone that's maybe understands your finances or has a direct effect on your finances, is being a little shady, and is not behaving in the most in alignment with integrity, and is maybe gossiping and speaking your business, out to the public, so to speak. And of course, this doesn't pertain to everybody, but it may pertain to someone. So if that's the case, just be mindful, keep your financial status to yourself and to your significant others, and if this is something where it's a person that directly impacts your financial situation, then you really want to learn a lesson here and get a hold of that, nip that in the bud. If you know who that is, then you want to address that and make sure that you set boundaries around that situation, right? So now we have, with this life lessons and higher learning, soul growth, and study, we've got the Eight of Swords, which is restriction. So on some level, you've been feeling you've been put into a position where you've just been sort of sitting there in almost like limbo, so to speak. You feel like you can't move, you can't make a move, and maybe that's like finances have been a little overextended, so you've been sitting in this place, and you may come to realize that you're being affected by outside sources through individuals, and setting the boundaries again. That's super important to get rid of this restriction. Be intuitive, really be in tune. Like if your gut's telling you something, pay attention to that, because our intuition is like it's our strongest guide. That heart-mind connection, that heart-soul connection is so important. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles, loyalty. So restriction and loyalty, with this page over here, and then we've got this Knight here. That's not necessarily a youthful energy, but it could represent yet again another individual in your life that is loyal to you, that is maybe bringing some information forward for you to help you end this restriction and learn this very important lesson, around the finances connected to this individual that is being a little shady, talking your private stuff perhaps out, where it doesn't belong. And maybe someone that's very loyal to you is going to bring you that information and help you to release this state of restrictive feeling that you've had, because now you're in awareness, now you understand, and you're gonna, with this card over here, with the joy, you've got the Five of Cups, sadness. So whatever this is pertaining to, whatever situation some Capricorns are going through, for those of you that this applies to, that has to do with this the finances, because it's still linked into the finances and a lesson around money somehow. So whatever's happening in this situation, there seems to be a person or persons that are directly affecting the security of your finances, so to speak, on some level, and you really want to make yourself aware if you're connecting with this, and this person who's loyal to you may be coming in to help you become aware of the circumstances, the situation. It could be that you're in a situation where you've been earning money for, a certain job you've been doing with people, and you've really stuck with it because you really rely on the financial piece of it, the income, but you're coming to a realization that the negative aspects of being connected with this job or this person is outweighing the financial benefit of it, and sometimes we reach a point where we just have this aha moment, and we realize things become clear, and we deserve happiness, all of us, you do. So in this situation, perhaps sticking to something and being loyal to it because of the financial reward of it is creating a sadness and discontent, right? Because it's not really aligning with your life, with your lifestyle anymore, or that specific particular person, if this is one individual, isn't aligning anymore, and you don't want to give up that financial boost, but the universe is saying, you've got to really be wise and learn something here, because this may be a pattern, and pay attention, because you've got the Seven of Pentacles, potential. So, whatever this is, you've got the potential to overcome it. You're going to overcome that sadness, and you're going to transition into a happier space, Capricorn, after you deal with this, once you deal with this. And if you continue, if this is related to a job experience, if you continue within this job experience, the circumstances just may have to shift, you know, and you may be in a position where you do shift, where you shift. If it's client-based, you may shift clients, and that moves you from this energy into this positive energy where things have much better potential, and you're still maintaining your financial discipline. And you know, you've learned that lesson, because you don't want to keep repeating and repeating those echo experiences, because if you don't learn them, the universe just finds another way to bring it back to you. So let's take a look and see. Peace. Yes, Bridget Goddess, your sacred name. All a light within me, peace is flame. So whatever this situation is for the Capricorns that this applies to, you have not been peaceful around this. You have not felt right about this. And it's time for you to internalize those lessons that you know are there, that you know, on some level, you know what needs to be done, or you will very soon, because you have people that are going to come in and make it clear to you how your life is being influenced without your awareness, perhaps, right? You have that right to be entirely happy, and you have the potential to do that as long as you really take a look at your financial resources and you're financially disciplined, and you make sure that you understand that we've got to learn and take action from things that aren't working, right? Because you're meant to come back to that place of peace and that place of harmony. All right, so let's pull another card. And if you're getting something from this, please click like and subscribe for me and help me to build and grow. Okay, so let's cut this and see. Time to fly, Capricorn. There you go. Okay, number 44. So it's time. It's time that you release yourself from whatever this restriction is, from whatever this situation is. It's time that you take your control back. Bring your joy back into your life. Find the balance again. And really, it's time to just take off and open things up. Time to fly means it's time to really open things up. It's time to learn. It's time to trust. It's time to take those risks, you know, respond to the signals, really set your boundaries, and good things can happen from that, okay? So those are your messages, Capricorn, for your new moon reading, August 18, 2020. Thanks so much for allowing me to come into your space again. You know, remember to live big and shine your light bright, because you matter. Until next time.